Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Aidi Ikmal bin Suhairi. My metric number is 059327. We are from Group A. Group A. We have discussed about Intel X86 operation type and ARM operation type, which is the first of all, RISC versus CISC was a war in the 1980 years, when chip area and processor design complexity were the primary constraint, and desktop and server exclusive dominate the computer landscape. Today, energy and power are the primary design constraint, and the computer landscape is significantly different. Growth in tablet and smartphone running ARM is surpassing that desktop and laptop running at X86 So our medical investigation demonstrates the role of ISA in modern microprocessor performance and energy efficiently. We find that ARM and X86 processor are simply engineering design point optimized for different level of performance, and there is nothing fundamentally more energy efficient in one ISA class for all the other.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Arif bin Muhammad. Number metric 059098. Introduction of Intel X86. Intel processor relief of the original 8086 CPU are referred to as X86. Processor 286, 386, 486, and 586 are among them. X in X86, as you can see, means a range of considerable value. The full name of the actual processor are 80286, 80386, 80486, and 80586. So X86 means 80X AC to avoid repetition. 80 is usually cut to avoid redundancy. If computer technical specification state that is based on the X86 architecture, that means its user an Intel processor, not AMD or PowerPC. Since Intel X86 processor are backward compatible. Never, X86 processor can run all programs that all the processor could run. However, other processor may not be able to run software that has been optimized for newer X86 processor. The X86 processor support a wide range of operation types, including a number of specific instructions. The goal was give tool for compiler rated to boost efficient machine language translation of high-level language application. Among the X86 command are core written instruction, memory management, static flag and condition code, and X86 sim instruction.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Naim Hakimi bin Mustafa, and my metric numbers is BTDL 9146, and today I want to explain about ARM operation types. So let's go. So as we know that ARM operation types is a type of CPU that is a part of community which CPU that are based on the RISC means reduced instruction sets computer architecture created by Adventure RISC machine ARM. Okay, then ARM produce RISC multi-core processors in 32 bits and 34 bits version. RISC processors are developed to function fewer type of computer instruction in order to work at a greater speed, processing millions of instructions per second (MIPS), and also RISC processor give a great performance at a fraction of the power requirement of a traditional processor by removing unnecessary instruction and optimizing routers. ARM processors are often used in consumer electronic products including smartphones, tablets, multimedia players, and other mobile devices like wearables. They require fewer transistors because of their restricted instruction set, allowing for a lower D size for an integrated circulatory means IC. Because of their smaller size, decreased complexity, and lower power consumption, ARM processor are ideals. ARM operation types can defined by ARM architecture has a provide a largest collection of operations types. They have 7 categories to list. For the first, load and store instruction. Second, branch instruction. Third, data processing instruction. Fourth, multiplying instruction. 5, parallel addition and subtraction instruction. 6, extend instruction. And the last one is status register access instruction.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hisham bin Ismail. Today I want to discuss about structural design and architecture. Firstly, X86 processor have always prioritized peak performance over all else, which is a significant distinction from ARM's processor, which prioritize energy efficiency. In today's world, 64-bit architecture are common in smartphone and PC. This did not happen overnight. Phone made the shift about 2012, but this had little effect on how we use them. It just improved their ability to deal with situation. Both architecture now allows 64-bit, though it is more important in smartphone. Second, ARM. ARM is based on RISC, which is reduced instruction set computing, where Intel X86 is based on CISC, complex instruction set computing. ARM CPU instructions are relatively atomic, with a fairly close relationship between the number of instructions and the number of micro-ops. In comparison, CISC has many more commands, many of which perform several tasks, such as optimize math and data movement. This results in improved performance but high power consumption while decoding these specific procedures. Then, characteristic. X86 memory management is memory segmentation is handled by another set of specialist instructions. These are special instructions that can only be run by the operating system. They allow you to load and read local and global segment table, also known as descriptor table, as well as verify and change a segment permission level. Next written instruction is to implement procedure called return. The X86 support for instruction called enter leave return examining the existing suppliers. By this instruction will be useful. For example, push the return point on the stack, push the current frame pointer on the stack, copy the stack pointer as the new value of the frame pointer, and adjust the stack pointer to allocate a frame. Lastly, load and store instruction. Only load and store instruction in the ARM architecture access memory location. Arithmetic and logical instruction only operate and register an immediate value stored in the instruction. This constraint inherent in RISC architecture. Next multiply instruction is the integer multiply instruction can provide standard or long result with word or half word operand. There is a multiply instruction, for example, that takes two 32-bit operand and return a 64-bit result. Okay, that's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mizan Azmi bin Mansur. My metric number is 060176. Today I will talk about performance, advantage and disadvantages XRM dengan ARM. Okay, performance. Firstly, performance. They are XR8 have a broad statistic set lower than to the complete task with a signal instruction. Process the frequency amounted in interval circularly then convert mission interaction intro to square of internal activity. Okay. Next, feature a small number of more general purpose intro that can be proceed with much few transactions, making solution less expensive and more powerful. More power efficient. Okay. Next advantage is also can less the hardwiring a control device. Chip design make process hardware compatible. Okay, for the ARM, work fast in RM only those opinion at the time they speed up the process and support of CPU and addition to hardware. Okay, next, disadvantages. XR8 because the recording the instruction more the number general purpose register then can be placed into the CPU reduced. The CPU perform more work in signal interaction to power the conversion is signal slow than the receive based on CPU. Next, ARM they do the first in include ARM process demonstrate their overall performance. The ARM process recommend extremely competent program. Thank you.
Okay, so the conclusion is in terms of power consumption and efficiency, ARM outperform Intel X86. ARM is used in the majority of portable apps. X86 and ARM CPUs are utilized depend on the application. ARM CPUs compete fiercely with X86 CPUs. If ARM processors are used in laptops, They consume less power and have a longer battery life. So also as we follow in the footsteps of Intel Discord predecessor emphasizing on extreme performance. Therefore, ARM will be more of a mobile-first company with simplified interaction set efficiency and low battery consumption as its top focus. In a mobile environment, the fact that is consume fewer transistors and free up that hardware space more than compensate for the need of RAM. So that's all for our group. Thank you very much.